Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Delise Robinson. Today we are talking about landlords and tenants, tenants versus landlords, landlords versus tenants. And we're going to be talking about the ever controversial security deposit. Because for as long as I've been a landlord, which has now been 25 years, as long as I've been a landlord, listen, as long as I've been a landlord, this argument has always come up. The security deposit. People always want to talk about their security deposit. They want to know why do they have to pay a security deposit? Where does it go? How's it kept? Things like that. So today we're going to talk about security deposit because y'all out here doing the most, landlords and tenants. Let's be real clear. Y'all just out here doing what y'all want to do. Thinking y'all can do what y'all want to do, not following laws, and that's how a lot of y'all get hemmed up, especially y'all landlords. So I'm gonna tell you like this: share this live, invite your friends over, have them follow the page. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Okay, so here it is. Let's talk about first what is, and I'm gonna go over like five. Anywhere I got a lot of stuff written down. Y'all can see my little notes that I keep just to keep myself on track because y'all throw questions at me and I lose myself in the question and not know exactly where it is. So, hey Steve, how you doing? If you guys have any questions, I'm gonna always ask you, type it in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer whatever questions I get. Okay. Now, let's first of all talk about what is a security deposit? What is it? Security deposit is the money that you put to secure a property to lease in a specified amount. Okay, that's what a security deposit is. What is it used for? Security deposits are used for damages to the property. Notice I didn't say rent because you are technically and legally not supposed to use your security deposit as your last month's rent. A lot of y'all tenants love to do this. I had so many tenants do this to me over years. We get to court and they say, "Oh, I still have to pay her?" Yeah, yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, the property that you secured with your security deposit, you left it a mess. A lot of y'all don't know how to clean up after yourselves, for one. No, and for two, you want to sit back and say, well, I didn't put that hole in the wall. Well, it wasn't there when you moved in, so who did it? You might not have put it there. Your guest might have put it there. You know, the boyfriend that you weren't supposed to have living with you might have put it there. But either way, it's there. It wasn't there before you moved in, so you are legally responsible for repairing the damage. If you don't repair the damage, that money is supposed to come out of your security deposit. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people like to say, well, how much can my landlord charge me for a security deposit? Now, I'm only going to answer for the two states that I know definitely: New York and California. And y'all like, you ain't leaving California. How you know what California say? Because California just recently passed a law that says you can't charge any more than 1 month's rent for a security deposit. So if your rent is $2,500, your security deposit can be more $2,500. Same rule applies in New York State. Okay. Now, what I want you guys to understand is the security deposit can be no more than 1 month rent. A lot of states still allow you to be charged your first month's rent, your last month's rent, and your security deposit. So a lot of y'all get that last month's rent confused with the security deposit, and that is not the case. Okay. Now, my name is Delisa Robinson. I am your favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets doing what? Slutting it up for the past 25 years. When I say slutting it up, don't get your panties in a bunch because that's not what I mean. What I mean is I do a little bit of everything. Y'all know what that means. I do a little bit of everything out here in these real estate streets. Okay. I wholesale, I have a broker's license, I rent apartments, I property manage, I fix, I flip, I do a lot. Airbnb, a lot. So that's why I say slutting it up. So take offense to that. Bye. I don't really care. All right. Now, the one thing, how much can make you pay? This is state by state. A security deposit and the laws that garner and rule over the security deposit itself, those laws vary state to state. In New York State, up until 2019, it varied city to city. Yeah. But now that, you know, Andrew Cuomo came in and right before he got booted out, when y'all decided y'all didn't want him as y'all governor anymore. Now in 2019, they changed the rules. Now the entire state is covered by one law. And the law says this: a security deposit can be no more than the 1 month's rent. So if you pay $800 for rent, you only have to pay $800 for a security deposit. Now, some people will interpret the law. I'm gonna come back and talk about this in a little bit more, which is that first month, last month, and the security deposit. The last month's rent is not security deposit, so they can still charge you that if they want. Now, some of y'all gonna fight me on that. Y'all gonna say no, no, no. I'm gonna tell you like this: check your rules. In New York State, you go to the Attorney General, Letitia James. You can go to her website and download the PDF of the entire New York State landlord tenant laws. But a bunch of y'all won't do that, so I might link it in my bio later, so y'all don't have to go that far. Okay. But I want y'all to understand what happens. So how much do you have to pay? New York State and in California, no more than 1 month's rent. Okay. Now, California just passed this law probably like 2-3 weeks ago. But New York State, we've had this law in effect since 2019. Okay. All right. So now we talked about what the security deposit is. It is to secure the property for damages that you or your guests may commit against the property. Okay. That's what it's for. That's what the security deposit is for. We already talked about how much you can charge for a security deposit, landlords, because y'all out here doing the most, thinking y'all can charge people $1,000 security deposit, rent only $500. That's not how that works. And the reason why y'all taking advantage of the situation. And then my next thing we're gonna talk about is what you can and can't take out of the security deposit, because a lot of y'all crazy. Y'all doing the most. I'll just put it like that. Y'all doing the most. Okay. Now, what can you take out of the security deposit as a landlord? And tenants, pay attention, because y'all get confused with this too. As a landlord, you can only deduct property damages that are beyond normal wear and tear. I'll say it again. You can only deduct damages that are beyond normal wear and tear. A hole punched in a wall is not normal wear and tear, but little nail markers, those are considered wear and tear. Dirt on a wall, if you can wash the dirt off, that's considered wear and tear. If they don't clean the apartment, you can take out a cleaning fee. But if they clean the apartment, but there are stains on the carpet, that depends on how long they've been there. Wear and tear is going to be, you can't expect somebody who's been in your property for 5 years not to have a stain on the carpet. That's normal wear and tear. Okay. What's not considered normal wear and tear? Paint that's been stripped off your walls, a paint color that you didn't authorize, or a leaky faucet, or a jammed toilet that you didn't know was jammed up, or things like that. That's normal wear and tear, especially if they didn't tell you about it. Okay. So a broken window is not wear and tear. A door that's come off a hinge is not normal wear and tear. What was you doing to make a door come off a hinge? That's not normal wear and tear. So there are certain things that you can consider that could be considered normal wear and tear. Okay. That's the only thing they can take out. Now, here's the thing. In New York State, a landlord has 2 weeks, 14 days to return your security deposit. Your security deposit is supposed to be kept in an escrow account. Yes, if you are a landlord in New York State, you're legally to have an escrow account. I don't care if you own 1 property or 2 or 50 million. You have to legally have an escrow account. And a security deposit is supposed to sit in that account until either it runs out, is supposed to, until the end of the lease. It's supposed to sit in that account to the end of the lease. Now, a lot of y'all tenants be mad because then the lease is up, you know, clean the apartment, you know, did all this stuff, everything is great, and you get ready to move out, and your landlord don't give you a security deposit back. You have to consider what was normal wear and tear. Did you break the handle of the toilet? Did you the back bowl of the toilet? Did you crack it? You know, things like that. Did you paint the apartment? You didn't have the landlord's permission. Did you by any chance have an illegal unauthorized pet? And now they have to fumigate and it smells nasty in the house after they told you not to have a pet, but you not had a pet all these years. I mean, all this time. So that's normal wear and tear. So you have to determine now, in order to get a security, in order when the landlord does return your security deposit to you, here is what needs to happen. If they are refusing to give you your full security deposit back, so let's say you pay $1,500 a month for rent and you paid a $1,500 a month security deposit. If they're refusing to give you a full $1,500 back, okay, having to patch over 50 holes, wear and tear, or excessive, that's excessive. That's crazy. Now, it depends on how big was the holes. Was it just holes for nails, for little pictures, those little pinholes? You could paint over that sometimes, so it depends. But that's excessive, 50 holes. Now, if the landlord is giving you back your security deposit, they have 14, and this is New York State. I want y'all to understand this is New York State. I encourage you to look it up for your state. Now, I've been looking up other landlord tenant rules somewhere else because I want to come up in some of the weirdest rules I've ever heard of. I have to share this with you guys, but that's going to be later in the week. Probably do it on Fun Friday. Okay. Now, landlords, and guys, for those of you who are just joining, my name is Elisa Robinson. I am your favorite real estate diva out here in real streets. And today we're talking about this week we've been talking about tenants versus landlords. Today we're talking about security deposits. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions that are presented. But I want you guys to understand, I'm going to give you what we call common sense responses and legal responses based on New York State and some other states that I've researched. Now, check your state. Because just because I say your landlord got 14 days in New York, you might have 30 days in South Carolina or somewhere else. Okay. So govern yourselves accordingly and check your state's records. Okay. Now, in New York State, you have 14 days to get your security deposit back. If they refuse to give you your full security deposit, ladies and gentlemen, if they refuse to give you the full security deposit back, they have to give you an itemized list of why. So if you had a $1,500 security deposit coming back to you, but they only give you $1,000, they have to have $1,500 was received on this date. $250 was spent painting. $250 was spent fixing the door or the windows or replacing a window that was completely broken out. We couldn't repair it. We had to replace it. Then $1,000 was returned back to Jane Doe, Joe Blow, and Susie down the street tenant. Okay, that has to accompany your refund. Now, if you don't get that, but you just get the money back, you can now take them to court because they didn't give you, especially if you have pictures to prove that you didn't leave this place in a bad spot. Now, a lot of my landlord friends gonna come at me, and you know what? Come on, I don't care. I'm telling you this so you can protect yourselves from future lawsuits and future issues with future tenants. And I'm telling you this also so that you don't end up being this person. Now, with social media the way it is, people are all over social media talking about y'all, telling y'all your business. They showing all these pictures, and I saw people posting pictures of roaches and everything else. Okay, so govern yourselves accordingly if you're gonna be out here in the real estate streets acting as a landlord, or if you out here in the real estate streets acting as somebody's tenant. Act like you got some sense. It doesn't make sense to me. So here it is. When the landlord is returning your security deposit, they must give you an itemized receipt as to if they're not giving you back the full security deposit. They have to give you an itemized receipt. Like, why is this the way it is? Okay. Now, so taking off. Ain't this fun? All right. Now, here's the biggest question I get. This is the biggest thing that y'all tenants do that irk the nerves of every landlord ever. Okay. And if you guys who are just joining me, or this is your first time here, don't let it be your last. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Now, if you're wondering why I'm looking here, this is Instagram. Hey, Instagram. And if I look over here, this is Facebook and YouTube. Hey, Facebook. Hey, YouTube. So this is why. Now, if you want to know why I keep looking sideways and sideways, that's why. Now, today we're talking about landlords versus tenants, and we are talking about your rights to a security deposit, the laws that govern security deposits. Okay. Now, a lot of y'all tenants, I don't know why y'all do this. I don't even think y'all know why y'all do this. But a lot of you tenants out there in the real estate streets, y'all like to have your y'all like to say, well, I'm not going to pay my rent, the last month's rent. They could just keep my security deposit. Mm-mm. And then you wonder why you get eviction notice. Just keep my security deposit? No, because that's not what the security deposit is for. That is not what it's for. Security deposit is for damages done to the property, not to pay missing rent, unless after you move out and you've cleaned the apartment and there are no damages, but you still owe back rent. They can count rent as damages. But if you have property damage, if you have property damage, say you bust out a hole in a wall. And for those of you who don't understand, y'all always like to say this too. Oh, there was just a hole in the wall. Why are you charging me $500? Because you can't just patch the hole in the wall. You got to paint the wall too. And I don't know if you've ever had drywall replaced, but depending on the severity of the hole in the wall, that drywall has to be replaced. Here in Buffalo, where I am in my part of New York State, where I am, houses are over 100 years old. My house was built, the house that I'm living in, you guys can see the bookcase behind me. The house that I live in, this house was built in 1917. Okay? It's 100, it makes this house 106 years old, something like that. Okay, y'all ain't good at math. We ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, and my walls are plaster. So if you bust a hole in this wall, do you know how much it costs to repair plaster? That's why it costs so much when you get drywall replaced. So you guys have to be mindful of what you're doing. And that's why when you do this, you have thing. Now, a lot of people, and we're going to talk about Section 8 this week too. We'll probably talk about Section 8 probably on Thursday, because tomorrow I'm going to go live and I'm going to finish up some numbers that investors, but tomorrow is for the investors. Wednesdays are usually my investor days, but today we're talking about tenants and landlords. Now, a lot of you tenants, y'all get help and assistance from either Section 8 or the county, or you get rental assistance, or, and like to say Buffalo, do you take downtown? Downtown is welfare, social services, or where your rent is on a voucher and that check goes straight to the landlord every month. Yes, we can take those. Yes, we do take those. However, you still responsible for a security deposit. Now, the reason why y'all think y'all not responsible for a security deposit or what have you is this. I want to sit back and y'all say, well, do you take a security agreement? No. Now, I'm advising every landlord out there in landlord land in these real estate streets, don't do that. And I know somebody gonna come back at me and say, oh, no, security deposit, a security agreement is good. No, it's not. Not in my experience. That might have worked for you, your grandma, and everybody else that's been a landlord that you know, but it didn't work for me. So I don't advise people to take those, to accept security agreements. No, I want cash in hand that I got to put in the account until you can pay, prove you pay something. Here's the difference between a security agreement and a security deposit. A security deposit is actual cash up to the full value of 1 month's rent in your account. So they done prepaid for their damages. A security agreement is you agreeing to not accept a security deposit, and then they have to pay you for damages after. Now I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna say this like my grandma used to say it: you a damn fool if you gonna think that somebody gonna pay you for some damages that they did in your apartment after they done already moved out. You can't even get them to pay for the ones that they did while they were still living with the security deposit. You think they're gonna pay you for something else? No, they're not gonna do that. So I do not accept security agreements. I don't accept them. And I don't care what you say, no. Now, the majority of the people who will ask you for a security agreement, there's three people that are going to ask you for a security agreement. One, a tenant that does not have the money for the security deposit. Two, a tenant who is receiving Section 8 and does not have the money to pay for their security deposit. Oh, thank you for the balloons. Or three, a tenant that is on receiving county assistance or other assistance, and they don't have to pay a security deposit, so they do a security agreement. Now, a security agreement, they're going to come in, they're going to send their people in to assess the damage, and they're going to give you a check, or they're going to send their people in to fix it, which means it might not be to the quality of which you wanted your house repaired. So you have to take those. That's why we don't do security agreements. That is why. Now, again, like I said, if you guys have any type of questions or comments or concerns regarding landlord and tenant relations, I am here. I am your favorite real estate diva out here in these real estate streets, giving it to you straight with no chaser. I don't know how to, I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything is roses and rainbows in the world of being a landlord, because it's not. Okay? Being a landlord sometimes can be equivalent to hell. Okay? Excuse me. Especially if you get tenants that are equivalent to hell. All right? So let's be real clear about what we're doing out here in these real estate streets. All right? If you are a landlord, govern yourselves accordingly. Protect yourself and your property from the beginning. This is why you should require your land, thing that you should require, because we're going to go over this list later too. I get so many questions about helping people find tenants, helping tenants find apartments. Right now, I could probably fill every vacancy that somebody has sent me with a tenant, but the tenants are not prepared correctly and the landlords are not prepared correctly. So I don't assist. I'm keeping it 100. I do not order all crooked. Y'all just let me be out here any old kind of way. And I tell y'all this I come on here and I give you guys information to help you in your real estate businesses, because there are things. Now, you guys know I've wholesaled and I've taught you guys how to wholesale. I've had houses as a real estate agent and a broker, and I teach you guys how to do everything that you need to do. What I will teach you before this year is up. Yes, I know we only got one more month. We got like 5 weeks left in this year. This year, a lot of you are sitting in your houses and you're saying, I'm sick and tired of being a landlord. I'm sick and tired of being a tenant. I want to buy a house. Well, in order to buy a house, I want you to think like a landlord. If you own this house, start treating your house where you live like you own it instead of renting it. And if you started looking at it that way, as this is my space and I have to take care of it, I have to keep it clean. If I see a leak, report it to the landlord. A lot of y'all sit on issue because you don't want the landlord in your house. Well, legally they have a right to come in your house. It's theirs. It's not yours. You're leasing or renting, and they own it. So they have a right to have access to it. Okay. So somebody asked me before about access to apartments. Yeah. It is against the law for you to change the locks and not give your landlord a key. Did y'all know that? You can't do that. You can't do that. I talked about that yesterday. So go back and see the live from yesterday. We'll talk about that. Now, the security deposit. Now, I'm hoping all of you get your security deposit back. Half of y'all not gonna listen to what I say, and y'all not gonna get them back anyway. So it doesn't matter. But I hope that you are the type of tenant that will get your security deposit. Because some of y'all out here acting, y'all think y'all a lot better than what y'all really are as tenants. And some of y'all landlords think y'all a lot better as landlords than y'all really are. And you're not. Stop, stop trying to be better, just do better. As a tenant, pay your rent on time, secure the property as if it was yours. You paying your money to stay somewhere. Why would you pay for your money to stay somewhere that's not comfortable for you? That doesn't suit you just because it's the only thing you can find to be that you can afford. I get it, but you no matter where you choose to live, you have to treat it as if it's your own property. Landlords, this is your investment. You spent a lot of money. I don't care if you bought it 10 years ago and you only spent $10,000 on it, whatever. Treat the property as your own. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my spacious little heart. God doesn't give you more until you take care of what you already have. And I've been having this conversation for the past week in my sister circle. And we talk about this all the time. And I had this conversation with my son the other day. In order to get more, you have to ask for it. 2, believe you deserve it. And 3, work for it. Now, if you out here in the streets and you're a tenant, if you're out here in these real estate streets as a tenant, but you want to become a homeowner, start acting as a homeowner right now. If you know you got a hole and it's your fault, fix it. If you can't fix it, call your landlord, tell them to fix it, and take it out of your security deposit. Now, that's something that they can take out of pre-lease ending. So if they fix the hole and it's like a $300 fix, instead of $1,500, you're gonna get $1,200 back now. But they have to give you that itemized deduction, that itemized receipt, and with your refund. So that's why. Okay. Now don't forget, tune in if you want to know when I'm going to be coming back with these trainings, because we're going to talk about onboarding your tenants, landlords, and tenants. Y'all need to know how to be onboarded properly, how to vet the right landlord. Y'all go in and be like, oh, this place looks nice. It smells good. Well, it smelled good today. Tomorrow you might look in the cabinet and see a roach motel or rat traps or something like that. Y'all need to figure that out. Okay? There's more than this place looks good. Let's put it like that. All right. So I got to get up out of here. I only come on for like 30 minutes. We're pushing on almost 30 minutes right now. Believe it or not, time flies when you're having fun with me. Now, another thing I want you guys to understand, I do have a course coming out soon. We're going to be talking about building your rental real estate portfolio. I do help people. I do assist those who want to be real estate investors with learning the real estate business and investments. Join me, DM me if you're interested. I'm happy to send you the link to some of the, I'll be able to send you the link to whatever it is that you're looking for. Like I said, I have a course called In These Real Estate Streets where we go through structuring your business, funding your business, creative finance strategies. We also talk about building a portfolio, short-term, mid-term, and long-term, and flipping houses for profit. So if you're interested in anything like that, be aware. Right now, it's Cyber Monday special for the holidays, $47 a month, when it's normally $97 a month. So hit me up, send me a link, send me a DM if you're interested in that, and I will be more than happy to send you the link. As of right now, I got to get ready to sign off because I have an appointment in about 10 minutes, and I need to eat before I go into this appointment, or I'm going to have a headache. All right. All right. Now, thank you for your time. I enjoy it. Like I always say, guys, before I sign off, you can choose to be anything you want in this world. I just hope you choose to be kind, because at some point in your life, somebody's been kind to you. Always to just pay kindness forward. Not only is it good for you as a person, but if all of us did it, make the world a better place. If you've been here before, don't let it be. If you've been here before, thank you for coming out again. And if this was your first time, don't let it be your last, because I love to see you back. All right. I am out of here. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, mañana. Tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be live, and we will be talking about net operating income, cap rates, and cash flow. That's what we're talking about tomorrow night. So I will see you guys then, and we'll get back landlord tenant talk on Thursday. Alrighty, I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.